Assalamualaikum, my name is Fatih Roziana. Our topic presentation today is titled Global versus Local, a choice influenced by consumer ethnocentrism level. What is ethnocentrism? Ethnocentrism refers to the inclination of local residents to favor purchasing things from their own country. It signifies that consumers are inclined to buy local products if they have a choice to do so. First problem statement is the success of any product, whether it's a foreign or domestic one, is heavily dependent on how consumers perceive it. Thus, understanding Malaysian consumers' choices and preferences is crucial. Second problem statement is the tendency to generalize about other people's actions and views based on one's own cultural standards and assumptions. A failure to recognize and value cultural diversity is one consequence of an ethnocentric worldview. Third, both the economy and society of a nation might suffer as a result of consumer ethnocentrism. One Malaysian study found that the country's residents have racial inclinations. And the last one is consumers' buying intentions can develop and shift. Hence, companies must discover and recognize this behavior if they want to stay in the market. Accordingly, a company is survival and competitiveness depend on the incorporation of characteristics into its goods that increase customer happiness. Our research objective is to identify determinants of ethnocentrism, to compare ethnocentrism across gender profiles, to investigate the relationship between quality perception and ethnocentrism, to evaluate influential factors using questionnaire responses. Our research question is firstly, what are the relationship between the perception on the quality of Malaysian products that can influence the level of ethnocentrism and the intention to purchase Malaysian product? Next is what are the ethnocentrism level and its impact on APB of local versus foreign products using the social identity theory and an extended version of TPB. Next, the scope of the study for a comprehensive review of 10 articles on marketing ethnocentrism was designed to cover multiple dimensions in influencing the marketing domain. It aims to cover various aspects of the phenomenon of ethnocentrism, from the individual characteristics of ethnocentrism to the strategy implementation of ethnocentrism campaigns by brand and the resulting impact on consumer behavior. Here are the details of the scope of this research. Firstly, the consumer psychology of ethnocentrism. This scope delves into how individuals develop and hold ethnocentric beliefs. Ethnocentrism and brand perception examines how a consumer's ethnocentrism influences how they perceive brands. Thirdly is decision-making through an ethnocentric lens. It focuses on how ethnocentrism influences a consumer's purchase decisions. Fourth, crafting ethnocentric marketing strategies. It looks at how brands strategically use ethnocentrism in their marketing campaigns. It analyzes techniques like highlighting local products. Measuring the impact of ethnocentric campaigns investigates the effectiveness of ethnocentric marketing campaigns. And next is ethnocentrism and marketing across cultures. It focuses on how brands adapt their marketing strategies to different cultural contexts. Seventh, ethical considerations in ethnocentric marketing. It examines the ethical implications of using ethnocentrism in marketing. Globalization and the evolution of ethnocentrism. The studies the impact of globalization on consumer ethnocentrism. Ninth, quantifying consumer ethnocentrism. It focuses on the tools and methods used to measure consumer ethnocentrism. And the last one is gaps and future directions in ethnocentric marketing research, to examine the limitations of current research on ethnocentrism in marketing. The significance of study in the industry scope. Firstly is enhanced marketing strategies. Second, inform global expansion, building brand loyalty, navigating consumer biases. And fifth is to develop culturally sensitive marketing. Sixth, understanding evolving consumer behavior. Seventh, identifying new market opportunities. And to informing policy and regulation, building stronger brand reputation. And also lastly is to gain competitive advantage. While in the student scope, firstly is for career preparation. Second, to develop a global mindset. Third, critical thinking skills. And also for consumers' insights. Significance of study. And ethical awareness. 6. Competitive advantage. 7. Research skills. 8. Marketing creativity. 9. Communication skills. And lastly is lifelong learning. While in the researcher's scope, firstly is to unveil consumer behavior nuances, second to refining marketing strategies, third is to bridging the cultural gap, fourth, ethical considerations in marketing, fifth, impact on global trade, sixth, the evolving landscape of consumer ethnocentrism, seventh, developing measurement tools, eight, cross-cultural comparisons, nine, integration with other marketing theories, and lastly is to inform public policy. So now we can take a look for the definition of terms. There are a few definition of terms that we need to know.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fitri Zulkifli and I will present about Chapter 2, Literature Review. Next is Review of Literature. First, Consumer Ethnocentrism. Ethnocentrism is a dynamic concept. Globalization and increased cross-cultural interaction may lead to a decline in ethnocentrism. Customers are becoming more discerning buyers because of greater exposure to global product and culture. Effective marketing campaign can also overcome preconception that are ethnocentric and expand more. Brands may highlight the benefit of being foreign-born by showcasing unique component, production methods, and or cultural heritage. Second, subjective norm. Although consumer ethnocentrism plays a major role in purchasing decision, it is not an isolated phenomenon. The perception of social pressure to behave in a particular way or subjective norm greatly influence how ethnocentrism appears. To successfully navigate the complexity of consumer behavior, marketers must understand this interplay, take into consideration a customer who values domestic product and has a strong propensity toward ethnocentrism. Third, attitude. Attitude is concept that broadens our understanding of consumer ethnocentrism, which studies the us versus them mentality in consumer decision making. The word attitude refers to a consumer general openness to product and culture from different nations. This concept allows us to differentiate between clients who display high and low levels of ethnocentrism, which provide us with valuable information for creating effective marketing tactics. Next is perceived behavioral control. Marketers can utilize perceived behavioral control as a strategy to both support and challenge ethnocentrism. One of the main themes of ethnocentric appeal is convenience and ease of usage. Putting a focus on well-known brand or ready available domestic product appeal to customers who feel powerless to change their purchasing habit when it's become to import good. Think about marketing that emphasizes the hassle-free nature of buying domestically or the readily available native language customer service, but marketers can also use perceived behavioral control to contract ethnocentrism. And the last one is purchase intention. Purchase intention is a helpful tool for marketers to develop target strategies that address ethnocentric problem and inspire customer to act. A buyer with significant ethnocentrism may be persuaded to buy a product by highlighting its economic advantage to the community, promoting the "Made in Our Country" logo, or showcasing celebrity endorsement. When this tactic fit with the ethnocentric worldwide of the customer, they are more likely to choose the domestic product. However, marketers can also create strategies that lessen the negative effect of ethnocentrism and positively influence purchase intention. Structural model. The framework that has been described indicates that consumer ethnocentrism, subjective norm, attitude, perceived behavioral control, and purchase intention are all significant elements of the suggested structural model for consumer ethnocentrism. This model aims to provide a comprehensive understanding of the way in which these factors interact and impact the effectiveness of consumer ethnocentrism strategies. And the last topic for literature review is research hypothesis. Based on the discussed framework and the proposed structural model, the research hypothesis for the study on ethnocentrism can be structured as follows. H1, CE positively influenced the attitude toward the purchase of domestic product. H2, CE positively influenced the SBN toward the purchase of domestic product. H3, CE positively influenced the PBC toward the purchase of domestic product. H4, ATT positively influenced the purchase intention of domestic product. H5, SBN positively influenced the purchase intention of domestic product. And the last one, H6, PBC positively influenced the purchase intention of domestic product. For chapter 3. For chapter 3 is methodology. This chapter explains various methodologies that were used in gathering data analysis, which are relevant to the research. The methodologies will include areas such as the location of the study, research design, sampling and sample size, type of data, data collection method, and its management. The chapter will begin by explaining the research design, a critical component that sets the framework for the entire study. The methodology is crucial for ensuring the validity and reliability of the study's finding and conclusion. This will include a description of whether the research is qualitative, quantitative, or mixed method and the rationale behind this choice. For chapter 3 is methodology. This chapter explains various methodologies that were used in gathering data analysis, which are relevant to the research. The methodologies will include areas such as the location of the study, research design, sampling and sample size, type of data, data collection method, and its management. The chapter will begin by explaining the research design, a critical component that sets the framework for the entire study. The methodology is crucial for ensuring the validity and reliability of the study's finding and conclusion. This will include a description of whether the research is qualitative, quantitative, or mixed method and the rationale behind this choice. For the methodology, we use a few methods, which is research design. The study descriptive research design is defined as a research method that describe the characteristic of the population that is being studied. Research design is the important step to gather and analyze the imperative data and assist to find the location of the study, sample size, population, and so on. It also includes the identification of one independent variable in this research, namely consumer ethnocentrism, with three mediating variables that is the subjective norm, attitude, and perceived behavioral and purchase intention as a dependent variable. Next is quantitative design. The quantitative design of the study was structured to systematically collect numerical data from a significant sample of consumers to understand ethnocentrism. The design include the use of pie chart to represent the distribution of response, facilitating a clear visual interpretation of the data. This method was particularly effective in quantifying the perceived determinant of consumer ethnocentrism (CE) and its influence of the actual purchase behavior (APB) of domestic versus foreign product using the theory of planned behavior (TBB). The quantitative approach provides a robust framework for testing hypotheses and drawing inference about the broader consumer population within in Shah Alam. Data collection. Data for this study was collected through a structured online questionnaire, utilizing Google Form as a medium for dissemination. A convenience sampling strategy was adopted, targeting users predominantly with Shah Alam. The user was distributed across various social media platforms to reach a broad segment of the population, ensuring a diverse sample in terms of demographic and social media usage pattern. Next is primary data. Primary data for the research was gathered directly from the target demographic through the administration of the online survey. This data is first-hand and original to this study, collected through questions designed to extract specific information about the consumer behaviors, attitude, and perception determinant of consumer ethnocentrism (CE) and its influence on the actual purchase behavior (PB) of domestic versus foreign product using the theory of planned behavior (TPB). The last one is secondary data. Secondary data refer to information gathered by other parties that already conducted a previous study. It helps researchers to better understand and define the problem. To obtain secondary data, the previous researchers' studies can be obtained through online journal database such as ProQuest, EBCHO Host, Emerald Journal, Malaysian Thesis, and other available databases which are available in UiTM Shah Alam and Pucat Alam online database. Research instrument questionnaire design. A questionnaire is a general term to include all techniques of data in which each person is asked to respond to the same set of questions in a predetermined order, and those answers are simple and well understood to the researcher. Basing on the nature of the study, the questionnaire were used for both full-time and part-time students to get information which was used in the analytical part of the studies. Research instrument measurement of variable. In this study, the independent variable in this research is consumer ethnocentrism with three mediating variables that is the subjective norm, attitude, and perceived behavior, while purchase intention as dependent variable. Next is measuring independent variable. Primary data for the research was gathered directly from the target demographic through the administration of the online survey. This data is first-hand and original for the study, collected through question design to extract specific information about the consumer behaviors, attitude, and perception determinant of consumer ethnocentrism (CF) and its influence on the actual purchase behavior (PB) or domestic versus foreign. And the last one is measurement of dependent variable. The dependent variable purchase intention was measured by purchase intention of resident actual purchase of domestic versus foreign product. Data analysis. Data collected from different sources was processed and analyzed for discussion. Appropriate computer software was used to analyze data. Excel software was employed to analyze descriptive statistics to see the extent of consumer ethnocentrism (CE) and its influence on the actual purchase behavior (PB) of domestic versus foreign product among UiTM students using the theory of planned behavior (TPB).
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Falik and I'm gonna talk about chapter 4 is finding and data analysis. Okay, on the chapter, after a complete 200 questionnaire have been collected, we will do the data analysis, present the result and having a further explanation of the feedback from the respondent. Okay, we will analyze the entire element in the questionnaire such as demographic profile, the consumer enthusiasm, attitude, subject norm, perceived behavioral control, and also the purchase intention. Okay, those response will be organized and explained by using the SSPS 20.0 software. Okay, this is the summarize of our respondents, which is include age, gender, marital status, occupation, ethnicity, Malaysian product category, Malaysian brand, and buying option. This for reliability test. Okay, in the summary of reliability statistic for the first model include one independent variable, which is consumer ethnocentrism, and 4 dependent variables, which is subjective norm, attitude, perceived behavior control, and the purchase intention. Based on the table, it have branch alpha value and number of items. By referring to the table, all branch alpha value for each construct are more than 0.600. This is can be conclude that all item for each construct in these ratios are in the range of good and very good, which sign high stability, constant result, and also in the satisfactory level. Okay, this is for correlation metric. Okay, we use Pearson correlation coefficient to study the relationship existing between dependent variable and independent variable. As you see in the correlation coefficient table down there, this analysis is used to answer the research objective. The analysis can be interpreted as strong, moderate, and weak correlation based on the score compute. Based on the result, we can see that the most significant to the consumer ethnocentrism is attitude, followed by subjective norm and perceived behavioral control. Whereas perceived behavioral control is the most significant to the consumer ethnocentrism is followed by attitude and subjective norm for purchase intention when both tests using correlation metrics. For a multiple regression analysis, results show that attitude is the most significant factor followed by subjective norm and perceived behavior control, whereas the purchase attention perceived behavior control is the most significant compared to the other two variables. Based on the result previously mentioned, this is the summarized where H1, H2, H4, H5, and H6 is accepted except H3.
Hi, I'm Rashidi, and I will discuss about the conclusion. From the study, we can say that the subjective norms as a mediating variables is a significant predictor for the consumer ethnocentrism and purchase intention. Second, attitude has strong association with the consumer ethnocentrism and purchase intention. Third, perceived behavioral control is not significant for consumer ethnocentrism but significant for purchase intention. Last but not least, strongest factors are actually attitude and perceived behavioral control. Now, we look into the limitation of this study. The study has a few limitations which could be a scope for future research. First and foremost, the limitation mainly concern on the collection of data from Shah Alam, which is one of the most populated cities in Malaysia. The present study is not considered national in nature. In the future, maybe a cross comparison of region in states could be done for a broader understanding of the phenomenon, especially in Malaysia. Thus, it may not be ideal for our generalization of the findings to the entire Malaysian population. Next, probably we have limited demographic such as age, gender, income, and education. Maybe the future study can be done using more demographics. Last but not least, more mediating and moderating effect could be tested in the future as well. For future studies, we have make some suggestion. First, future research should expand beyond the variables traditionally studied. Maybe we can add study more on other variables such as logo appeal, brand loyalty, perceived quality, pricing strategy, and maybe religiosity. Understanding how these factors interact with ethnocentrism in the context of domestic product could provide deeper insight in consumer behavior. Second, we should be proposing that future study apply the research instrument across various geographic areas within Shah Alam such as urban and non-urban groups. This exploration can uncover whether there are significant differences in ethnocentric tendency and purchasing behavior based on location. Analyzing this distinction can help telemarket strategy to be more effective. Third, given Malaysian diverse population, future studies should incorporate a true demographic analysis. This include considering the ethnic composition and cultural diversity within Shah Alam. Different ethnic groups may demonstrate varying level of ethnocentrism and preference towards domestic product. Examining how ethnocentrism varies across different racial groups and other demographic factors such as age, income level, education, and occupation can provide nuanced insights into consumer behavior patterns. Next, maybe we can conduct comparative studies between Shah Alam and other regions or cities within Malaysia, which we could further enrich understanding. Comparing ethnocentrism level and purchasing behavior across different regions can highlight regional variation and identify unique factors influencing consumer decision. This comparative approach can also validate findings and identify generalizable trends and specific local influence. Next suggestion, probably we can use longitudinal studies which can track changes in ethnocentrism level and purchasing intention over time, which can offer insight into evolving consumer preferences and market dynamics. Understanding how these factors evolve in response to economic, social, and cultural changes can guide businesses and policymakers in adapting strategies accordingly. Last but not least, we suggest to use qualitative exploration, which can supplement quantitative research, such as focus group, in-depth interview, and ethnographic study. This can provide deeper insight into the underlying motivation and perception driving ethnocentric consumer behavior in Shah Alam. Qualitative approach can uncover nuanced factors that quantitative measure may overlook, offering a richer understanding of consumer attitude and decision-making processes. By addressing this recommendation, future research can advance our understanding of ethnocentrism in relation to Shah Alam domestic product, offering practical implications for businesses to enhance marketing strategies, improve product acceptance, and foster consumer loyalty in this specific market context.